What's up, Group Coach Nation? Super excited about this. I got Rebecca with me today, and we are looking under the hood, one of our expert interviews, to see how she built what she built. So Rebecca works with ex-executives, ex-corporates, people who are trying to escape the 9 to 5 or want to be X's and trying to figure out, what do I do with this knowledge base and skills that I built up over all these years when I'm not sure I want to keep playing the big monster corporate game. It's retirement time, it's early retirement time, or you're just like, I'm freaking 30 and I'm a rock star and I want to get out of here and do my own thing. All right. She's genius at taking that. She has a book about it, everything. But we're here today to talk about how she built this thing, because I know everybody likes knowing, like, what went into this? Like, how did you start this thing? Because now you look all successful and it's so far from where I am today, right? So Rebecca, thank you for being here today.
That's a pleasure. Thank you so much for asking me, Chris. I'm really looking forward to this.
I am too. Okay, so before we get into this, I know people like to stalk and do all this stuff while we're talking. So right here on the screen, I'm going to go ahead and pop up her website. There's her website. It's tricres.com, tricres.com. Okay, if you're listening, tricres.com. That's Rebecca's website. And she has a book on Amazon also, which is so cool. And freaking awesome list on Amazon too. Well done, you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to pull that up like on my screen. And you have an Amazon link here. We'll pop in the description. But anyway, we'll get to your book in a second.
Okay.
Let's talk about the good stuff here. First up, Rebecca, how did you end up? There's like lots of layers here. Typically people are like, okay, how did you end up picking the market you work with? Have you always been working with corporates or ex-corporates, or did that just kind of happen? Like, how'd you pick that market?
Okay, that was an accident. So when I started the business in 2018, my intention was to share this stuff online, always intended to share it online with small to medium-sized business owners. That was the intention. And what I did whilst I was trying to build my own app, that was a real mistake. Don't try that. Whilst I was doing that, I thought, oh, right, I need to bring some money in. I was working with clients, but I thought I can train 1 or 2 people in this methodology. So I ran a pilot, did it for free for 2 people. That was 2019. And obviously 2020, the world ended and shut down. So I thought, right, well, I'll do it on Zoom. And because it's Zoom, I can go anywhere in the world. And we got 3 people signed up for a weekly 2-hour Zoom session during lockdown. And they loved it. They loved what I was teaching them. I was like, oh, okay. This is interesting. And I was charging them, fairly handsomely. I think over the year, they had to pay me $7,000, but I broke it up into small pieces. So, I was charging well for it. And then that worked okay. And then the world opened up again and people started saying, well, I can't turn up every week to a Zoom call because I'm busy now. I'm going out and about. And so I went, right, well, I'll just put it all online, by which time I'd abandoned the idea of teaching it to SME business owners because they don't have the time or the patience, and they actually do want somebody to help them and sit with them. And I just went, right, well, I'll train a load of coaches, bung it on Kajabi, as you do, and then start the graceful art of marketing it, Chris.
The graceful art. I love that. You mean falling on our faces over and over and over again?
That's the one. Yeah. That's the one. Oh, there's another dead end. Oh, another dead end. Oh, that didn't work. Yes, that one.
I love that. Okay, so you stumble into the market. By the way, that's my story, and like 90% of the people we talk to, that's the way it works, right? And then how did you land on, here's what I want to be teaching and educating and influencing on? Like, how'd you pick the topic?
Yeah, so that was the easy bit. And that bit I had from day one, which is I wanted to show businesses how to build kick-ass cultures in their business. For a variety of reasons, and your listeners and viewers will know that working in a toxic culture is miserable, makes you ill, it's horrible, doesn't work for anybody. I've been there. Literally, virtually everybody we meet has been in that situation. And I just thought it really doesn't have to be this way. And I had left a toxic culture in corporate. I'd built my own recruitment business. I'd built it on, before even the word culture or purpose, vision, and values had been created. I created a really nice culture in that business, and we did really well until we didn't in the banking crash. And when I was out coaching on my own for 9 years, working with businesses, leaders, the thing I spotted time and time again is that the businesses that had happy people and happy cultures were far more successful and profitable. And I thought, I need to put some things around this, package it up. And it was really bizarre when Simon Sinek's talk came out in 2009, How Great Leaders Inspire Action. I watched that when it came out. I went, this is what I'm thinking. This is exactly what I'm thinking. He's much more successful than me. He got on TED Talk. Yes, Simon, you're right. Well, that's what I was thinking at the time. But it was really nice to have somebody, Popper, in inverted commas, confirm that for me. And I'm like, right, I'm on a mission now. And that's how I created all the stuff that I teach our coaches. It comes from that place of building businesses from the inside out, culture first.
That's brilliant. I love it. Okay, so looking at it from now versus then, this is like really simple. I love the through lines we get to see when we interview people who've already done it. This is really great. All right. When you're building your group coaching program, you've done some one-on-ones, all this stuff. This is the normal pattern for everybody.
Yeah.
Bounce around who you're working with.
Yeah.
How have you decided how many people to work with in a group at one time? Because some people are like, I want to have 300 or 3,000 people in a group. Some people like, a group for me is 3 people. Like, how many people are in a group, and how did you decide on that?
Yeah, so it's really easy. They learn on the platform, and we lay on 3 sessions a month via Zoom. I do one. My business partner, Tammy in the States, does one, and she does an extra kind of coffee and chat, more relaxed thing. And we just say, because once you've signed up to do our training program, though we call them supercharged sessions, they're open to anybody. So anybody can turn up. So I don't have to make a decision about who turns up. And because all our learning is online, I can have 3 people sign up or 30 people sign up. It makes no difference to me whatsoever. The only caveat to that, Chris, is we have an onboarding session. So they sign up on the Wednesday or Thursday. We have the onboarding session on the Monday. I keep that small because I like to really get into detail about why they've signed up. Is it right for them? And if it's not, and I have given people their deposit back straight away, because I've said, look, this just isn't right for you. Here's your $99 back.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only caveat. So again, you know what it's like, Chris, you change your model constantly. When we started last year, we were only doing 1 intake session a month. Then we went to 2. This year I went, why don't we just do 1 every week and see what happens? So that's what we're doing. And guess what? We can onboard 2 or 3 people a week quite happily. We're a tiny team, as most of these businesses are, and actually we want to make sure that the client service is really, really good. And that seems to be working so far, so good.
Keep it up. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
All you listeners, viewers, Group Coach Nationers, like everybody out there, if you're tinkering with this idea or you're already doing it, like something I'm really hearing from Rebecca is she's just seeing an opportunity, seeing an experiment, and pushing the button. Like, freaking push the button. Nothing's going to blow up. Going from like, 3 or 1 or 2 onboarding sessions a month to once a week, nothing's going to hurt anything if you go to 1 a week. It's no big deal.
No, it's not. It's like when we went from 1 a month to 2 a month, it's like, why haven't I done this before? And it'll be the same with 1 a week. Why didn't we do that last year? I don't know. Yeah, so that's that's how we do it. I think your audience needs to know though, and here's a big difference. So we, and you do this, Chris, we found a way to use LinkedIn to get our audience through the door. That was the hardest thing to do, was to find the right platform for us.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, we use LinkedIn job ads, because you are a self-employed business coach with TriCrest. So it's an opportunity. It's not a salaried job. We're really clear with people that it's not a salaried job.
Yeah.
And we actually have now put in a filter to weed all those people out who don't read the ad, because there are loads of those. So it took us ages to find that audience and how to reach them. And that for me was the hardest thing.
That is typically the hardest thing for most people. You're not alone there.
Yeah.
And if you're on this journey, don't give up, everybody. Like, you're going to find that market to message connection, but that takes experimenting. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there who are like, buy my program, I'll show you how to do that in, 3 days. The thing they're teaching, and the thing that we teach, and the thing that Rebecca teaches, like, it works if you keep trying it.
Yes.
But it is a process. There is nobody who has the market message connection that you can drop, plug and play in. If that was the case and everybody bought their thing, the market would be exhausted from that message. It doesn't work that way. It has to be organic. It has to be you. So, yeah. Okay. By the way, let me just bring up Rebecca's book real quick. I love this. Rebecca's book, Building a Business from the Inside Out, a coach's guide to developing awesome cultures in business. Yeah, just look this up on. I'll drop a link here in the messages and all the stuff. But Building a Business from the Inside Out, a coach's guide to developing an awesome cultures in business. You should just look this thing up just to see the front cover of her book. It's freaking amazing.
Good.
It's one of the most fun book covers I've seen in a long time.
Thank you. I will tell Lauren Jones, shout out to Lauren Jones, Brand by Boudica. She is a brand genius. She created our TriCrest brand.
Yeah.
And when it came to, and she's such a genius, I think I've given her 2% of my business or 3% of my business, because it's like, you have to stay with me forever, Lauren.
I love it. That's so fun.
Not going anywhere. And so she designed it for free for me.
It's amazing. When I first pulled that link up, when you sent it to us, like, for the show, I was like, oh my gosh, I just took a minute, like, zoomed in, looked all, it's so cool.
Good.
If I was to walk into a real bookstore, the ones that sell paper, there's not very many of those anymore. I would be like picking that thing up and like, yeah. Okay. So how do you tell us who the perfect, and everybody out there, like, listen to this. I want you to hear this in 2 ways. I'm going to ask a specific question. Listen to it to see if this is you and you need Rebecca's help, obviously. If it's not you, listen to this as like, oh, I understand how clear she is, because this is really important. So, Rebecca, who is the perfect ideal client for you? Like, who are they and what are they trying to achieve?
Okay. So we found this out. I want everybody to realize that we found this out by simply noticing who was buying our product. Because before we started selling it, we kind of had a rough idea, and we were roughly right. But I just want to reassure people that I didn't magically know this beforehand, okay? The people who love and buy our product are usually over 45, usually in their 50s. They've got 20 to 30 years experience of a corporate or building their own business and exiting. And they have a ton of wisdom and expertise that they really, really want to give back. They've usually got kids who are off at university or college, or no kids at all. And they don't want to retire, but they want their freedom back. And they want to be free to go off on holiday whenever they want, have meaningful work, and really help other businesses. That's what they want to do.
That's really cool. Very, very intentional, very, very specific. It's not, I can teach anybody how to run a business.
No.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
No.
Yeah. All right. So 2 takeaways there. If that's you and you're like, yeah, I want to figure out how to do that, then reach out to Rebecca. If that's you or not you, and you're just like figuring out how you're going to work with somebody and who you're going to work with, be specific.
Yeah.
Rebecca, I'm sure you talk to tons of people about this. People are so worried often of being too specific, too niched down. But there's just, you could have said, I only work with 53-year-olds who have 2 kids and a cat.
Yeah.
And are currently divorced.
Yeah.
And live in Canada. Who've only worked corporate their whole life. And you would have thousands and thousands and thousands of those. You're not going to run out of people.
You're not, and that's the main message we share with our coaches is pick a niche. Then get really niche in that niche. And just when you think you've niched enough, niche a bit more.
Yes. Oh my gosh. This is so real. I love this. Singing the right songs here. I love it. All right, cool. This is good. All right. So if you could look back to 2018, when you started this whole graceful process, what would you tell your 2018 self?
That's so funny. Because
would it be like, what the heck, run like hell? Or would it be like, no, do this instead?
Yeah. At some moments during the past 5 years, it has been definitely, what was I thinking of? I know I've got all this lovely stuff. I'm just going to put it online, tell people it's there, and then loads of people will buy it. Okay, none of that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, back then I started with a really clear vision and a big, audacious vision. And again, it's something we teach our coaches, something I teach my business clients. Start with a big 10-year vision that scares the bejeebers out of you. And then really embed that into your psyche. So I did that, and I repeated it, I recorded it, I wrote it down, I had it up on the wall. I got obsessed over this big and it's huge, okay? And obviously at that point in time, no idea whatsoever how I'm going to get there. Not a clue. But during the past 5 years, when there have been moments, Chris, where I've thought, this is too hard. I can't do this. I can't fall flat on my face again. I can't get 0 people turning up again. I can't get 0 signups again. That big vision really, really kept me going. Because not only did it scare the living daylights out of me, but it got me really excited. Like really, really excited. I thought, if I can do this, then it's going to be amazing. And the ultimate gauge of our success is to see somebody on the side of a hill in Nepal using our content to build their business. That's our definition of success here at TriCrest. Because, and I get goosebumps talking about it, if we can put this stuff into the hands of people everywhere, they can run their own business, whether it's large or small, I don't care, but they can be in charge of their own destinies. And that freedom is just fantastic. And that's what's kept me going.
That's really good. That's really good. That's really powerful. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you, Rebecca.
No, that's
Rebecca, thank you. Rebecca's website, I'm going to come back to that, what you just said in a second. I want to echo just that again, because it's so important. But Rebecca's website right here on the screen for those of you watching and for those of you listening, it's TriCrest, TRICRES.com. If you want to see how she's done it, what she's built, go check out her website. Her book, which obviously just jump on Amazon and grab that thing up. Make sure you take a look at this title, or the cover again. Building Businesses from the Inside Out, a coach's guide to developing awesome cultures in business. Absolutely check that out. Rebecca, thank you. I want to come back, though, to what you just said. You created a big vision. You put it on the walls. You recorded yourself saying it. You just got obsessed with the vision. And you didn't give up on that dream. because it's freaking hard. And there's lots of times when we're like, oh my gosh, it's just simply not worth it. I should go back to my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
But comfort never creates change.
No. And it's a bit dull, to be honest, Chris.
So true. I'm glad you brought that up. It really is. I think that's what drives a lot of us, Rebecca, is just we're bored with what everybody else is doing, the status quo. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I would say to people listening and watching this is if you feel like that's you, that itch is never going to go away, ever. If you feel that's you and this resonates with you, you're going to have to do something about that sooner or later. And the sooner you do something about it, the happier you're going to be.
Rebecca Bonnington, folks. Well said. Rebecca, thank you so much.
Thank you. What a pleasure. Thank you so much, Chris. I really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, thank you for educating all of us and letting us see inside the real deal. All right, Group Coach Nation, we say this every time. Do work, get results. That's our thing here. Do work, get results. We're not wanting you to go do the hustle lifestyle. It's not what either one of us, Rebecca or me, would tell you to do. Just do the right work. Stay with it so you can get those results you want. And scratch that itch because it's going to keep itching. That's such a great point. All right, everybody. Do the work. Get the results. We'll see everybody soon. Can't wait to talk again. Bye-bye.
Bye.